I'm going to bring 2 spools with me today. You know, you could set up 2 rods. I'm just going to bring 2 spools and swap them if needed. One's going to have a check rig on it, and I'll show you that in 1 second. There we go. And then the other one's going to have more of a traditional kind of indicator, nymphing, longer line nymphing, as well as dry fly rig. So let me pull those out. Whoop. So here's my nymph. Let me get that going. In fact, I'm going to start with this nymph rig today. You know, down and dirty check ring, we'll call it. There's a lot of varieties in this, and this is just my own little personal preference for this size stream. So here we go. First of all, you got a couple. Can you see that? Can you see that here? I got a couple. I just use a permanent marker at the butt of the line, the fly line. There's 3 of them. Well, guess what? That's not part of the cider. That's actually, they tell me it's a 3-weight line. That's a little trick from Lefty Kreh, you know, my man Lefty. And then what we have here, this is a 30-pound Dacron backing. All right. Now those black permanent marker marks are to help me for sighting. You know, basically we're going to be watching that, and any subtle move, that's going to be a take. That's when we're going to set the hook. All right. Then the next section to this is spider wire. Pretty cool, you know. Now, you got to watch this. You don't want to pull this through your guides. It will cut your guides unless you have ceramic guides, which I never see any fly rods with ceramic guides. But this rig is giving me 2 things. First of all, there's no stretch in it whatsoever. So that means quick hook set. Also, what that means is there's a lot of sensitivity, and that's what I'm all about. Now, real check rigs, a lot of times they don't hang the fly line over the tip of the rod, but I do. I guess I'm old school. I like to have a little fly line hanging over the tip of the rod. You'll see that when we fish today. But this is my base rig. And then I finish off with a 2.5 millimeter tippet ring, nickel. I don't like silver. It's I'm trying to get a little stealthy with it. Okay, so you got a clinch knot. But if we're going to talk about the knot, you got a clinch knot on the tippet ring. All right, you have an Albright knot here from the spider wire to the backing. All right, and then you have an Albright knot from the backing to you have a nail knot here from the backing to the fly line. All right. That's the base rig. Off of the tippet, it's just like a lot of things we're doing these days. We're going to adjust the tippet length based on the depth that we're fishing. Now, really, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw on a piece of tippet here, and I'm going to throw on a fly, but that's really just to carry my fly through the woods and have something on it as like a holder. And once I get to the water, then I'll make a determination how long I need to go. What's nice about these tippet rings, you don't have to make that transition where you step down from a thick diameter to a thin diameter. You can just go from this ring, boom, 5X. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm a big 5X guy. So that's it. That's my modified check rig, if you will. All right. Just throw this on here just for a second. Just get out of my way. Okay, and just since we're here at the truck and talking gear over a little bit, here's my other spool, right? Now this is a 5-weight, right? Weight forward, 5-weight. I actually even keep the loop on this one. I got fly lines that I don't, you know, I've chopped that off, and sometimes I prefer that. But for today, the reason we're going to keep that loop on is I'm going to throw on a knotless leader. Yeah, I know a lot of the hardcores are like, what? You're not going to use your own tied leader? What are you, an amateur or crazy or something? But no, I'm going to use a knotless leader. This one's 7.5 foot. It's 2X, 7.5 foot, and there we got our loop. But there are a couple modifications I made to this, all right? I'm not going to unwrap this until we get on stream. I don't want to have to go through the trouble. But essentially what I've done, I'll do it right now. Here we go. real quick, just so you can see it, because who knows, I might not even pull this one out. If I don't have some suspender situations in this pool, or if I don't have a dry fly event, I might not pull this out. It might just be hardcore down and dirty all day long. And here we go. Unwrap this bad boy real quick. So, you know, as soon as you try to do something real quick, you end up with a bird's nest. Let's see if I can not make that happen. I think we're getting there. You know, by the way, if you tie your own leaders, you know, what I do is when I tie my own leaders and I'm wrapping up a coil, I always wrap up the base. You know how you keep it together. If you're not, maybe another show we'll show you how to do that. But I always wrap the same number around, so I always know. Okay, I got to take 5 wraps off of that base. I always know it's 5. You know, I don't have to do any guessing work. But anyway, knotless tapered leader. All right, down to that 2X, and then boom. I throw that gold strand in. I don't know, what do you think? That's about a little less, probably 10 inches, maybe, whatever, about 10, 12 inches of gold strand. This happens to be 8-pound. I like the 8-pound just because it's a little thicker and it's a little easier to see. You go down to a 6-pound or a 4-pound, it's a little thinner. It's just not as visible. And then back to that 2.5 millimeter nickel colored tippet ring, right? So we're back to the same thing. Now in this sighter, if you will, this is where I would throw my suspender right in here, okay? And we'll show you. I got a couple different suspenders I'll use. Before I forget, because I am a forgetful guy, if this was cold, now this is pretty mild in here. I think we're at like 35 degrees air temp, but if this was freezing, I would only be able to use certain kinds of indicators, and that would be the more the thingamabobber style or a corky. But I like to use the fur type, if you will. Hang on one second. But they will freeze on you, like the parachute cord style, like a synthetic cloth style, or synthetic material style. They will freeze on you. So if it's a freezing day, you can't use those. All right.